In 31 BC, one sea battle would shatter love, betray empires, and change the...
As the sun rises over the eternal city, the whispers of conspiracy echo through the forum.
His ambition was absolute. He studied the maps not as a strategist, but as a conqueror destined to rule the known world. Here, upon the tranquil sea, rested the alliance of the Serpent of the Nile and the Lion of Rome. Across these ancient waters, the sun rises on a new age. But this day will not end in...
Agrippa's strategy was nothing short of brilliant.
If we move the fleet here, we cut off their retreat
and smash their center.
Cleopatra's commitment to Egypt was absolute. She would stop at nothing to secure the future of the kingdom, even if it meant war. Octavian's advantage was clear. His shipwrights reinforced every hull, preparing a superior fleet for the inevitable clash.
The legions are positioned along the high ground, protecting the fleet in the bay. This strategic location at Actium...
The fate of Rome rests upon these ships. Failure is unthinkable, yet the sea itself seems against us.
This was the symbol of her power. A floating palace adorned with the purest gold, showcasing the unmatched wealth of Egypt.
As Agrippa planned, we feign retreat on the right, drawing them in, then hit hard with the cavalry from the forest.
Readiness is the key to victory. Ensure the payload is secure and await the command. Discipline is the measure of a man. It is the measure of our strength, our unity, and our passage through these waters.
Every soldier knows this feeling. The quiet before the storm, the heavy burden of the armor, the anticipation of the coming fight.
They believe they can tame the Nile as they have the Tiber. They underestimate the Serpent of the Nile.
Ride east until you locate the main force. Report back by nightfall.
We cannot wait. We must move now or lose the advantage. But the supply lines...
As the internal tensions mounted, the pontifices invoke the sea gods, a vital ritual ensuring the fleet's safe return.
By the sacred eye, let Ma'at prevail and chaos be repelled.
The die was cast. Across the churning sea, two mighty empires moved toward their inevitable, bloody collision.
Through sweat and strain, they move as one, a testament to Roman discipline. The synchronized draw of the Egyptian lines signaled the coming storm, a testament to their rigorous training and unmatched skill.
The windswept decks prepared for carnage. At last, the admiral raised the crimson flag. Attack!
Tension builds as the Sagittari prepare the first volley. At the commander's signal, they unleash a storm of arrows.
They come like a storm, but we are the rock. Hold the line, men, for Egypt!
A marvel of naval engineering, the trireme utilized disciplined oarsmen and a lethal bronze rostrum.
Brace for impact! Push!
At 0800 hours, the fleets collided, a deafening roar that echoed across the Atlantic.
The boarding was swift, the combat brutal. Hand to hand, the Egyptians fought with unmatched ferocity.
The legion held the line, an unbreakable wall of shields and steel, before beginning the synchronized advance that shattered the barbarian horde.
Hold the line! Bring the reserves around! But it was too late. His indecision had already sealed their fate.
As the battle raged, Cleopatra knew that victory meant survival, and defeat meant the end of her dynasty.
The tactical use of fire was crucial. By targeting the sails and rigging, the projectiles immobilized the enemy fleet. In the ensuing confusion, the mighty Egyptian fleet struggled to evade the onslaught. Panic spread rapidly among the ranks.
The signal for the flank movement rings out across the field. The mighty Roman army begins its advance, shifting its weight to the left.
And so, the tide of the battle turned. The flagship, once proud, began to list as her main...
Men of Rome, today we secure our legacy for the Republic, for the glory of the legions! Charge!
Then, a sudden shift. Cleopatra made the agonizing choice to withdraw.
This controversial retreat marked the beginning of the end. The flagship sped away, leaving chaos in its wake.
A monumental blunder. Antony, witnessing the retreat of his queen, deserted his forces. The victory is complete. Antony is broken. The world belongs to Caesar Octavian.
Without leadership, the great Egyptian fleet crumbled, swallowed by the unforgiving tempest. The elite Roman marines stormed the crippled vessel. Though the enemy fought fiercely, the disciplined legionaries secured the deck.
The aftermath of the battle required immediate attention.
Centurion, organize the third cohort here. I want these siege weapons salvaged immediately.
The precise number of casualties remains debated by historians, but the wreckage tells its own story of loss and defeat.
Every step, every battle has led me to this moment. The gods have chosen me to forge...
Commander, they have fled! Antony and the Egyptian woman, Cleopatra, they slipped away in the night. Their ships are already at sea.
Patience was Octavian's greatest virtue, a weapon sharper than any sword.
They flee towards Gaul. Cut them off at the river. And so they arrived, the Roman and the Queen, greeted by the adoring crowds of Alexandria.
The people worried about the consequences of the recent unrest. What would become of their city?
Everything is changing too quickly. We are afraid.
Forged in the fires of civil war, these legions were Rome's finest. They marched south, an unstoppable force.
The dream of empire turns to ash. I am alone, defeated.
Egypt's future lay not just in the Nile, but in the hearts of Rome.
We must secure the easterly pass.
With the legions assembled and the omens observed, Octavian's forces prepared for the confrontation that would decide the fate of the world. The fleet pressed onward through the tempest, guided by the light of Pharos, towards the heart of Alexandria.
Tiberius, do not deny it. I have heard the whispers of your betrayal echoing through these halls. Your loyalty is forfeit.
He knows. We are... This was the source of her power, the hidden wealth of Egypt.
It is magnificent.
The legions arrived at the gates of Alexandria. The time had come for Egypt knee to Rome. To me, fight for Rome!
Yet even as he rallied his men, the walls crumbled and the legions of Octavian closed in.
The legions advanced like a courier, an unstoppable force against Antony's fragmented line. There would be no quarter given this day.
The great Mark Antony, vanquished not by the blade, but by the relentless tide of fate.
And so the final curtain fell. The Lion of Rome was gone, leaving his queen adrift in a sea of grief. With the defeat of Antony and Cleopatra, Octavian solidified his power. This was not merely a triumph.
Alexandria welcomes you, General. Let us discuss the future of our nations as equals.
Rome has no equals, only subjects.
They think me defeated. But the serpent of the Nile always finds her way back to the throne.
They called it the sacred asp, a messenger from the gods. Once the basket was opened, there was no turning back. With this final breath, the last true pharaoh of Egypt passes into the annals of history, choosing eternity over subjugation.
And in that moment, bathed in the last light,
he learned of her death not with sorrow, but with the cold realization that the world was now his.
In the heart of the palace, we stand guard. Every shadow a potential threat, every corner checked.
Egypt's treasure, centuries in the making, now secured for the glory of Rome. The new master of the world surveys his prize.
By the will of the gods, Rome stands eternal. The legions march for the glory of the empire.
After years of civil war, Marcus Antonius is defeated. Caesar's adopted son, Octavian,
For your valor and service to Rome, the Senate and the people hereby award you these honors. We salute you.
After years of civil war, Marcus Antonius is defeated. Octavian returns victorious, bringing peace at last to the Republic. He stepped from the shadow of his father, accepting the power that would transform Rome from a republic to an empire.
Augustus! Augustus!
He was the first Roman emperor, ruling from 27 BC until his death in AD 14.
This is the dawn of a new Rome, a golden age, forged by the will of the people and the strength of our leader.
Behold the Imperium Romanum. From humble beginnings, Rome reached out.
With the Republic stabilized, Octavian turned his attention to the provinces, initiating sweeping administrative. The legions were the embodiment of Roman rule. Wherever their boots marched, the emperor's new order was brutally enforced.
To celebrate his victory, Octavian commissioned this massive marble relief. The artist's meticulous...
A newfound stability settles over the Forum following the campaigns.
The returns on the olive trade are higher than ever in Ilius.
Under my rule, Rome shall reach the heavens. These temples will stand for 1,000 years as a testament to our glory.
Cleopatra's true legacy is etched not in stone, but in the fragile papyrus of these ancient...
They call him a tyrant now, but we knew the man. He shared our hardships, and he never forgot his legions.
After Actium, the Roman fleet, now unified under Augustus, began an unprecedented expansion. The shipyard...
52 BC. By the authority of the Senate, we confer upon you the title of Augustus.
With this declaration,
Behold, the beating heart of the Republic. The Forum hums with the commerce and politics that sustain our vast empire.
The victory at Actium in 52 BC decisively shaped the future of the Republic. It was, without question.
For the legions of Rome, the border was not a line, but a statement of intent. They marched as one, and...
Citizens of Rome, rejoice! The age of peace is upon us. From this day forward, the civilized world...
The Rhine is secured, but the Eastern legions report unrest in Syria. We must consolidate power before the Parthians strike.
Behold, the victory of Actium, etched in stone. This monument, raised...
In 52 BC, Caesar's massive invasion fleet set sail. The veteran soldiers of the...
Struck around 52 BC, these silver denarii depict the young Augustus, highlighting his growing power during the late Republic.
Here, where the Nile meets the Mediterranean, our cultures converge. Yet, the eagle...
Herein lies the wreckage of Actium, where the might of Egypt found its watery grave. The sea hath reclaimed...
A dream of an Eastern empire shattered at Actium.
With divine favor and military might, the young Octavian became Augustus,